Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. This is Kurt with Manana Namas. And earlier this week, I had foolishly went to a WordPress meetup that I was hosting here in Hutchinson, Kansas. Unfortunately, I'm supposed to host those on the second Tuesday of every month, and it was the first Tuesday of the month. So apparently I'm going to do WordPress meetups twice for the month of May. Anyway, what we did there was I came up with this idea and I said, how do I get, we've only been doing these meetups for 3 months. So I was like, how do I get the community like more involved, or how do I get them more excited about working in WordPress at these meetups? And so I went online to Facebook and a couple of different community sites, and I put, we're building something tonight. Like, we're going to build something tonight. And here's the deal. I'm in small town America, one of the flyover states here in Kansas. And there's a ton of people that are really great entrepreneurs and people that I've met all over the city that I think are phenomenal people. But when I talk to them, and not from a sales perspective, just from a getting to know them perspective, they're using Squarespace, they're using Wix, they're frustrated because they're not web people, they're business people, and they want to focus on running their business. They don't want to focus on trying to figure out how to get this website to do what they want it to do. And I explained, I said, hey, a lot of these solutions are really great proof of concept solutions. If you need to get something up on the internet, you need to do it yourself because you don't have a budget, you can leverage a Squarespace, a Wix, something like that. But when you compare it, but when you compare the nature of WordPress and the flexibility that you get with WordPress, it doesn't really make sense to not use WordPress. And so as I get people together in these WordPress meetups, we started to build things. And what we built on Tuesday, I think is pretty stinking cool. So what I did was we came up with a make-believe building company, right? So I know there's these guys in town, and I think they're called Cutting Edge Construction or something like that. And we were talking about making a website because they were doing work at my house. And they said, aren't you a web guy? And I said, yeah, I'm a web guy. And so for the first time, and nothing like learning something in front of the audience, right? But I used to use Kadence starter sites to get different sites launched. And the new AI Kadence starter site is phenomenal. So what happened was, instead of the normal window that would pop up that would say, here's a list of templates, pick one, it says, what's the name of your business? What do you do? What's your logo? All that stuff. And then it takes that information and it gets the pictures, it does the layout, it does everything for you. And so, like, about us, residential and commercial rehabilitation services for kitchens, bathrooms, shops, and offices. Like, that is straight out of the AI builder. I didn't do that. Testimonials, what our satisfied customers have to say about their experience with Cutting Edge Builder. Experienced professionals serve you already, our teams and workmanship. These are phrases, they're sayings that AI put into the platform so that people that are new to the area or new to this area of working wouldn't have to reinvent the whole wheel. And I think this has been a really good deal. Now, look at some of the sample blog content. Maximizing your blog's reach, essentials of blogging, never run out of ideas, crafting the perfect blog structure. And so it gives people an idea of how to take over the reins and create content and use content marketing. But when you look at the featured images, all of these featured images are of a builder origin, right? They're about architecture, building, renovations, things like that. And so we see all of these things here. Now, before we started doing this, I want to go ahead and take this screen share down. I want to open up another thing, and I want to show you how we came up with this idea of what we were building. And when I work with folks, I want to show them kind of like the thinking, right? I want to show them, hey, how does this come together? So before we even touch the keyboard, and I want to see if I can find it, window. Yeah, here we go. So and I'm going to have to blow this up for you guys because you can't see that. Let's go this way. Okay. So if you take a look at this, I said, hey, we're going to do, WordPress services, WordPress development services, custom WordPress solutions, consulting, membership. No. Hold on. Let me go to, nope. It is in notebooks, meetup build. Here we go. Let's open this one up. Okay. So cutting edge builder, what are they selling? Right. So what are they going to sell? So they're selling time, materials, estimates, and large jobs. Okay. How can they sell? And so we wanted to have a discussion about, how are they going to sell? So sell or schedule appointments, do estimates, free or paid, prepackaged benefit or service. So I thought, hey, once you build something, maybe you build a custom doghouse. Do you build it once and forget about it, or do you build it once and productize it? And so I wanted to talk to the community about how do you grow your business through your web product? How do you change your processes? How do you change your way of thinking as an entrepreneur to know that you can add value to people from more than one position? So I put common tools meet the requirement. So we know we're going to build on WordPress. We know that we need a theme, right? So that theme is going to be Astra, Kadence, SkyPilot, or the 2024 theme, right? So these are the four that I'm really going to recommend, especially when I'm talking to new folks. The starter site templates, I wanted to make sure that people knew how to use those, especially people that are looking for that easy button with Wix or Squarespace or whatever, right? And then the function. So I tried to communicate to them that in my mind, a theme is about look and appearance, and plugins are about function. I don't like to use themes that have a lot of function built into them, because then I think you kind of get locked into that walled garden. So let's pick a theme that works, right? So let's pick a theme that has a lot of flexibility and has some styling cues like global fonts, global colors, things like that. But let's keep the function in the plugins area, right? Let's not go down the theme forest row and say, oh, well, I want calendars and scheduling and courses and all these things in some kind of a theme, because then I kind of ruin the whole idea that, WordPress is flexible and I own it and it's open. And so, I said, let's make sure we have a booking calendar, right? So a booking calendar, we could use Fluent. We could use Fluent booking. We could use the event calendar, which is a free plugin, or we could just embed Calendly into this thing, right? So I wanted to show them a couple of different options. So in this particular case, I used Fluent booking and I used Calendly. Customer Resource Manager, a CRM tool. If you're in business and you have people coming to your website, you're going to want to, gather, you're going to want to correlate that information. And so whether it's a membership or a learning site or not, you still want to know who's coming to you, who's in contact with your business. And so I said, hey, we're going to want to put a CRM in here. Some allergies are killing me. Some kind of a form manager, and then some kind of a shopping cart. And so when you look at what we were talking about there, and let me get back over here on this one. So when we look at what we were talking about there, these meetings are only 2 hours long. So I wanted to have a precursor before the build that said, what are we building? What's our strategy for what we're going to build? We know that we want to use a starter site. We know that we are going to have to, think about what the site's going to do. Is it going to book appointments? Is it going to sell product? Is it going to be an informational exchange? We're going to use it for content marketing with blogging and things like that. And so when we dove into this, and I'm going to go ahead and stop that screen share, and I'm going to open up the website again. So I know, folks, I know. Window over here. Okay. So here we are back on the blog. And I think I'm going to go this way. And so that way I can kind of see what I'm doing over here. So we have the blog in place, but let me show you what we did. And I should note, we went into my server, we added a new hosting package, and we did a fresh WordPress install right in front of the meeting, right? So this wasn't like, I was trying to show them like, hey, this isn't an exercise on how smart Kurt is. This is an exercise on how flexible and quick can we do something in WordPress as a minimal viable product. I stress that all the time, as a minimal viable product, knowing that we can go back and we can touch things up and we can really more clearly define things. But if we take a look in here, I got Fluent CRM. So Fluent CRM, Customer Resource Manager, is going to allow me to build a mail list. So I put in Fluent and I put in Fluent Forms Pro. So what that means is, and let me open this up in another page, and we'll just go over to this other tab here. If we go to the contact page, the starter template's going to have a form already put in place. So what I did was I removed that form and I put the Fluent form in its place. So I have a Fluent form that now communicates. So anyone that fills in this form, it's automatically going to add them to the CRM tool in Fluent CRM under contacts. And so we're going to be able to grow a mail list through this project, okay? Provided this was a real site and somebody was going to use it. Fluent Booking I put in place. And for Fluent Booking, I only made one exercise of that. And that was to show them that they could do it. I think I put it on the services page. And that, again, for example's sake, it was like, let's just put this in. So we made a services page. And this is what Fluent Booking looks like. So Fluent Booking allows someone to come in here, make an appointment, pick a time, right, and go next. And then Manana no Mas, or their name, right? So their name, email address, what's the meeting about? Do you want to meet at my location, your location? Remember, this is for a builder. So if someone's in the construction industry or remodeling or repair industry for residential services, are we meeting at my office or are we meeting at your house? And so one of the things I like about Fluent Booking is you can have the user pick the address that they want to meet at. Okay, so here's something else that's interesting about Fluent Booking. If we go into, pardon me, if we go into the general settings, see here where it says Stripe and PayPal. And you know what? Maybe I need to make that bigger for you. Where it says Stripe and PayPal, you can integrate Stripe and PayPal directly into Fluent Booking. And then that way you're able to pre-bill people for appointments. Now, this is one of my business strategies that I think is very, very important. If I am a builder and I'm dealing with a lot of people that are just curious about, I was thinking about having my kitchen redone. I was thinking about having my bathroom redone. Maybe I'll do that in a couple of years. And they're like, could you come out and give me an estimate for that? And then you drive out in your truck, spending your time and your fuel, and you do the estimate, and then they just ghost you, right? But if you were to say, hey, we do estimates for $75, we'll come out, give you a detailed estimate. We'll give you an expiration date for that estimate. And if you choose us before that expiration date, we'll apply the $75 towards the work that you approve, right? So that way you're getting compensated for your time and you're anchoring somebody for that potential sale, right? So that's a really good way to go. I feel the same way about landscaping, housekeeping, all of those kinds of things. If you're going to book those on a plan like that, then I would encourage you to have something in your website that gives them the ability to prepay for their appointment. Okay, so Fluent CRM, Fluent Forms Pro, Fluent Booking. We put WooCommerce in here, and I just want to show you. Remember I mentioned the doghouse? So that was kind of funny for us. So what we did was we made a custom doghouse product, and we went online and got a picture of a dog coming out of his doghouse. And we just said, hey, put whatever description you want in here, right? But then if we wanted to see that, this is what that product would look like on the page. And so instantly we were able to say, okay, I'm in the construction business and I'm selling material and time, but I can also productize some of my builds. So let's say that you're doing a lot of renovations and you find yourself building the same kitchen island all the time, right? Everyone says, oh, I want a kitchen island like that one. I want the French kitchen island. I want the contemporary kitchen island. But as the builder, you know that this thing is 48 inches by 33 inches with some kind of countertop on it. And so you're like, you know what? Everyone keeps asking for this kitchen island. I could probably just start making these things. And you could make them and you could put them into your store, and then you'd be able to just sell stuff, right? Right through your site. So if you have some productized products that you sell in addition to your services, you're creating that next vertical, and your website's working for you 24/7. So your website can be selling for you while you're sleeping. So the blog I left available, book a call. Remember I said I wanted to have a couple of different ways for people to use like a booking agent, right? And so I use my WP Tonic account here as a sample, but this is Calendly. So Calendly is a free service that you can use for up to 3 different appointment types. And I just copied and pasted the link from Calendly and I added it to the buttons. So book a call goes to Calendly. I think there's another one down here called book a call. Oh, we're on the blog page. That's why. Let's go back to the home page. Book a call here goes to the Calendly. And so I wanted to show people in the WordPress Meetup that there's multiple ways to do the same thing. And so you're able to, say, hey, you can link out the Calendly. You can use the booking tool that's directly in your website. All of those booking tools can integrate with your Google Calendar, which can then integrate with your Outlook or, your Thunderbird or whatever it is that you're using as an email client, so that your central calendar is always updated in real time. It can also look for conflicts so you don't end up being double booked and things like that. Now, again, the reason I like the Fluent booking is because I can attach the Fluent booking to some kind of a payment structure. Now, you can do that with Calendly as well. So I don't want to say Calendly sucks, but you can do that with Calendly, but then you're not in the free version of Calendly anymore. Now you're subscribing to Calendly. You see, and that's what I was trying to get people in the WordPress Meetup to avoid. I wanted people to understand that they could have a product as a website that they build and they own and they manage, and everything's there, instead of Frankensteining all these things together from all these different sources and different subscription fees. So if we think about the way that I'm coming at this, in an hour, we built this sample. Okay. Now, is that reasonable to think someone brand new to Facebook, is that reasonable to think that somebody brand new to the WordPress environment is going to be able to whip up a site in an hour? No, that's not reasonable. It's probably going to be a weekend, right? But that's the benefit of having a professional on call that you can call. Now, some folks, again, back to the idea of, I want to run my business, not be a webmaster. That's fine. I'm an agency, right? So if you would rather farm this out, or you would have someone build it for you, we can totally do that, right? But the idea of the WordPress meetups isn't to sell your services. The idea of the WordPress meetup is to show other people the advantages of getting started in WordPress, and some of the features and some of the fun things that you can do there. And for us, it's kind of our way of paying it forward, because Hutchinson, Kansas welcomed us with open arms as a family and as a business. And so, it's a meeting once a month, typically once a month. It's a meeting where we go and we show other people how to do some of the stuff that we do. Now, to me, it reminds me of being in the automotive industry when I ran service departments. Sure, I had a lot of customers that knew how to put brakes on their own vehicles, but they would still bring the car to us to put brakes on it, right? Because they didn't want to be mechanics, right? They wanted to use their time for the other things in life that they do. It's the same with the internet. So come to the WordPress meetups. If you're not in Kansas and you're not coming to my WordPress meetup, go to meetup.com, look up a WordPress meetup near you. A lot of them are on Zoom, so a lot of them you can attend virtually. I really wanted to do mine in person. partly because I hold them at a brewery, but I wanted to do mine in person. But you can look up on meetup.com, you can look up WordPress meetups, and you can join a virtual one. You can go to a live one near you. But I can't stress enough the value and the community in WordPress that I've experienced in these channels. I worked in WordPress for over 15 years without even really understanding that there was a full community behind the initiative. And so I'm hoping that you get a better head start than I did. I'm having a blast doing this. Next week, we're going to build another sample site as part of the WordPress meetup. So this coming Tuesday, if you're someone that's in Kansas near Hutchinson and you want to come to the WordPress meetup, it's open, it's free. No skill level is required to come. And we're going to build out another sample. I'm playing with the idea of a landscaper or a house cleaner, or maybe an automotive repair center or something like that. I'm actually looking for suggestions from the community. So as we all get together and we have fun, throwing ideas up on a whiteboard, and like that outline we made, what's your business? What do you sell? Who's your customer? What functions do you need? And then taking that outline and just making it like a task checklist and going through and building out a site real quick, just to show, hey, here's your minimal viable product. At least now you've got a presence on the internet where you can grow a list of customers, you can market your products, and you can connect your social accounts so that you've got some kind of like business authority on your subject matter. And that's it in a nutshell. So I hope that you found some value in what I was doing here. The big shout out to folks that aren't doing the WordPress meetup thing, but are in the WordPress world, is some of these AI tools. I'll be honest, I'm tired. I'm so tired of hearing about AI. Like, AI's in everything. And it gets annoying after a while, because you're like, a lot of people say, oh, it's AI, and it's junk. It's just junk. But this was my first time using the AI tool in the Kadence starter sites. And it was a really good experience, especially considering the pressure of doing it in front of other people at a WordPress meetup. It went really smooth. So I'm looking forward to playing with that a little bit more, because you're able to put in, like I said, you can put in your logo, you can put in your company name, and you can put in like a description of your company and then certain keywords and things like that. And then the system actually goes out and finds royalty-free images for you and writes some of the initial copy, right? So it gets you a really good head start. So I think that's it for now. Have yourself an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you on the flip side.